Hello Photoshop Senior Edition folks. I want to show you today one of my favorite things I used to do at the college. Before I retired, I sent out calendars for folks to put on their desktops. So in the morning or whatever they would come in, the main screen that they saw would have a calendar on it. They'd know the date real quick. Yes, down the bottom right hand corner there's a little thing that says what date it is, but we can't see the overall calendar unless we click on it and open it up. So this will give you an idea how to put one together, and it's really simple, and you can change it each month, put a new image in, and so forth. So let's get started. You see I've opened up inside of Photoshop. I've gone to Google. Just go to google.com, and a lot of folks don't know this, but if you want a free calendar, it's built right in at Google. So you can just type into the search box there, Google Calendar. And right there at the very top is the Google Calendar. You click on it and you get this great calendar. You can go in and plug in whatever you want in those dates and have a nice fresh calendar all the time. You can have it send you messages to let you know something's coming up on a particular day. You can get multiple warnings from it so you know things are coming up. But anyway, we can take this image excuse me, and print it or send it into Photoshop as a nice little file. So what you do is, once your calendar is the way you want it, and you can just go with the default with nothing plugged in, and just click over here where it says More and say Print, and you'll get a screen that looks like this. And I just leave all the default stuff the way it is and say Save As instead of Print, Save As. So then it provides you with a nice PDF file, and guess what? Photoshop loves PDF. So this works very well inside of Photoshop. So I'm just going to click on Save the File. Then when you go to your downloads, there's the calendar, and you can just click and drag that over onto your desktop so you can easily find it. Then you can go into Photoshop and do a file open. So you open up go to File and Open, and you'll see this come up, and you just click OK. And there's the calendar. And what I'm going to do is take this and drop it into my flowers image. Actually, let's not do that. Let's make a new file. So I know that my desktop is a certain size as far as resolution and so forth. If you don't, here's what you need to do. Go down to your desktop or wherever to see your desktop, and right click your mouse, and there'll be a thing that says Screen Resolution. And when you click on that, and you see it here, Screen Resolution, here's the file size, or here's the resolution, sorry, 1920 by 1080 on mine. And click OK. And what we need to do then is put that information in here. 1920 by 1080. And the resolution is just fine. And black is what we want. And create. So now, with our calendar right here, I'm just going to click on that and drag it to that new file we just made and drop it right there on top, and click OK, and there's our calendar. Now here's what I want to do, because I'm going to resize this maybe several times to make sure it's where I want it to be. So I'm going to change this into a smart layer. I'm going to right click on it and say Convert to Smart Object, so that makes this layer smart. So now I can resize it multiple times, and the quality is going to remain the same. So let's go ahead and do a Control T for now, and and I'm going to click and drag these. And if we hold down the shift key, it'll keep the perspective right, but you can not have to worry about it, particularly on this image, because it's really not going to mess it up. Let me zoom in a little bit so you can see our numbers are fine. There's Mother's Day, pay water bill, so forth. So that looks fine. Let's go over here to the flower with a bee in it, and I'm going to just make a copy of that. Control J, sorry, and I'm going to click, hold, and drag that up to our new file and drop that in there and click OK. So it's huge, that's alright too. I'm going to do a Control T, and when I do this, it's going to hopefully let me see all my control keys, or my little corner squares. If I can't see them, just do a Control or Command 0, and then voila, there it was so big that you couldn't see the transform box. So I'm going to hold down my shift key and resize this, drag that in there, and I can have that as big as I want it to be, and click, and we'll just click it like that. Now obviously the calendar is in there somewhere. I'm going to put the calendar on top, so go to layer 1 and drag it and drop it on top. Now let's do a Control or Command 0 to make that full size. So here's what I need to do to make this neater. Number one, the bee is kind of important, so I want it to be able to show. So I'm going to click on the layer that the flowers are on and drag that over here where it can be seen. Okay, now what I want to do is darken this so I can see the calendar better, and to do that I'm just going to create a new layer on top of the flowers. I'm going to click on the gradient tool, or you can press the letter G as in golf, and go up to the editor, and we want the foreground to invisible. That's what the checkerboard means, invisible. I click on that and click OK. Now the foreground color right now is a beigey color, so I want the default colors. I will press the letter D as in Delta, and that gives me the black and white, which are the default colors. Now in this layer 3, I'm going to type in here and say shadows, and that's just going to be a layer. Then I'm going to drag this gradient in from the right hand side back towards the bee, holding down the shift key, because if I don't, I can't get that straight line and nice even gradient that I want to cross there. So I just let go, and you see what happens, and I can do that over and over until I get all of it as dark as I want it, and that's pretty cool right there. Now I don't know about you, but I've got 2-3 rows of icons on my desktop that I double click to get various programs open and some of my games that I play and all that. So they don't show up very well against lighter areas like this. So once again, I'm going to put gradient on here, this time going from the left side to the right. So I move my mouse over here to the left side, hold down the shift key again, and come to the right and make a nice shadow like so. Again, I can fill the screen up to finish this off with the calendar. So I go back up, and remember, this is a smart object, so I can keep resizing this without any problems, any bad results happening. I'm going to make that a little bit like that. So now if I zoom in again, look at my numbers, see they're still good. The resolution of this is really low. So if I don't make that into a smart object, every time I transform it, those numbers are going to get really wonky, and that's not going to look good. Won't be able to read them soon. So if I do a Control or Command 0 right now, we see the entire image the way it's going to look on my desktop, with my icons all lined up down here and showing nicely what I want to see. Now the thing that I didn't do, so see, I'm so glad now, even more glad, that I made that a smart object, because I didn't put the month in there. So again, I'm going to do a Control T and basically pop that up a little bit, because I need room to put the month of May in there. So I'm going to click that, place it, and I'm going to put some text right here and just type in May. And we can't see black on black, so I'll select that and change that. I'm going to use a color that's in the image. So I'm going to press the letter I on the keyboard. I is in India, and just sample color from over here. I can get that pinkish color. I can use the beige that's in there, or the green that's there. Let's try the green. So I'm going to go back over here to my text layer, and I'm going to apply the green color that's right here to my text, and finish spelling May will help. It's not very big, so let's scoot that. And I didn't spell May really well. And click the Move tool to complete that. And we'll say that's lined up pretty nicely there. If you don't like the color of that, you can go double click on the text again, click on this color picker, and go out here and change that obviously to any color that you want to. That's the bees color there. So we click on the Move tool to complete it, and there is our desktop. So this is the way we want to set up. We can save this as a PSD file, and then all we have to do, of course, we would want to change the image out, but we can save this shadows layer, put a new image in, and then drop the new calendar in, change the date, because we've got a date text right here. So we have it made. So let's do, we want this to be a really small file size when we save this for the desktop. We want to keep it the way it is as a PSD file for our main file. So let's save that first, save as, and we'll just put in here desktop calendar. I always separate my words with underscores. That's just a personal thing. I'm going to change that to PSD, and I'm going to click on Save. Alright, now I want to save the version that will be my desktop image. So I'm going to do this Control, hold down the Control, Alt, Shift, S. Or you can go to File and Export and Save for Web. We want this to be small. Let's do a Control minus or a Command minus so we can see everything. This doesn't have to be high quality. If it is, then you're going to use up a lot of your RAM. So this is only 53K, tiny. So let's save that. And desktop calendar JPEG, and save. Now I'll open this image up using Windows Viewer. So here's my file. Right click on it and say Open With, and you can see that. Let me move this up higher and open with Windows Photo Viewer. There's the image, and then right click, set as desktop background. Once you do that, you can just close this, and there's your desktop. It's all right there for you to use. As I scroll around or move the viewing area around, you see what it looks like. All right, hopefully this helps everybody out and gives you an idea how to show off your images, and you can share this with other people. Tell them to let you know what their desktop size is, and you can resize the file and give it to them. Be a nice guy, girl, whatever. Talk to you all later. Let me know if you have any questions, and bye for now.